Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the prices of the chase cards from Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign is going to be released on June 18th, so we're just under 2 weeks away from Chilling Reign officially being released. A lot of people have already gotten their hands on Chilling Reign booster packs because of the pre-release kits. So some English Chilling Reign cards have already hit the market, but we're going to take a look more closely at the Japanese counterparts. Just like we always do in these videos, the price of the Japanese counterparts can tell us a lot about the prices of the English cards when they're officially released here in the US and around the world. So let's go ahead and take a look at some listings on eBay. Let's go ahead and start off first with the 3 legendary birds. So starting off first, we got Galarian Articuno V. There's a set of the raw cards of the Galarian 3 legendary birds, but let's go ahead and just take a look at the single Galarian Articuno V. So let's take a look at this. We got the Galarian Articuno V CGC Pristine 10 with no subgrades. Kind of a mistake on their part. Probably should have added the subgrades. Would have given this a chance for a perfect 10 actually. This card is pretty clean. The centering's really nice. And it did get that Pristine 10. And we see that it got a best offer. It was listed for $250, but it did receive a best offer of $200. We are able to confirm that right here, seeing that the best offer accepted was $200. So $200 for a Pristine 10 of a Galarian Articuno V. I'm pretty sure that if there's a PSA 10 that hits the market, it's definitely gonna be more money than that. Especially this doesn't have subgrades. I think even obviously even a CGC English version of this, a CGC 10 would go for more than $200. So I don't know. I could see a PSA 10 Galarian Articuno V hitting $500 just right out the gate. I can see it hitting about $500 and maybe stabilizing closer down to maybe a little over maybe like $350 or something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if this card hits $500. One of the first copies of a PSA 10. I would not be surprised to see this at $500. We do see here a BGS 9.5 went for $187. That's pretty consistent with the other listing we saw where the 10 was going for $200. The 9.5 obviously goes for a little bit less than that. And this is the Japanese counterpart, so it is going to be less than the English counterpart. Generally in the past, we have seen English cards be, at least for modern, be almost worth twice as much as their Japanese counterparts. We are seeing that gap close. We are seeing Japanese prices for modern cards kind of creep up closer to their English counterparts. And I think that's a result of English cards just being a lot easier to get now. We are seeing the shortages being remedied, and we are seeing stores getting a lot more supply. And we've seen battle styles, especially now, just being on the shelves now at your local game shops, and you can go into Target, and now Target has a 2-item per customer ruling. So it's pretty easy to find battle styles nowadays, especially right before Chilling Reign's going to be released. A lot of people are trying to offload their battle styles. 9.5 BGS for 187. Yeah, I can see probably if this was an English counterpart, I could see this maybe getting a little over $300. But that's still pretty good, right? Okay, so here we see a Pristine 10 going for 182 actually. So, and these were actually sold on the same day. So it looks like people maybe might be preferring the 9.5 from Beckett a little bit more than a Pristine 10 with no subgrades. So let's go ahead and see what the raw card's trying to fetch though. About $120. Right out the gate, it was about $120. It looks like it's stabilizing closer to maybe $70. Maybe right out the gate, you can maybe sell your Galarian V Articuno for maybe a little under $100, but it's definitely going to come down closer to around that, $70 mark. I see that happening with the English counterpart as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the sold listings for the Zapdos V. All right, so we see a Galarian Zapdos V, 9.5 from CGC. Again, no subgrades. Go for, it was listed at $240. Let's go ahead and check what the official price paid for that was using this Candy Dandy website. So I'm not able to find that 9.5 on this website for some reason, but I do see a 9, and a 9 has only sold for $66 US. With subgrades in a CGC slab, I feel like that's pretty low for an alternate art card from Chilling Reign. This is of course a Japanese counterpart, but still, I feel like $66, that's a pretty good deal. It is a 9, most people do want a 9.5 or definitely a 10, but $66 is pretty low. Go ahead and keep looking here. What do we got? I mean, just a raw card right here. It looks like one of them sold for $75 at one point. One of them sold for $85, $65. So again, it's very similar prices to the Galarian Articuno V. I do think we're going to see these cards be over $100 right out the gate, maybe even upper 100s. I don't know if we're going to see them fetch over $200 for the English counterparts, but definitely over $100, at least in the beginning for sure. But I do, like I said, I do think these are going to come down to under $100, just because there's too many alternate arts in this set. If you look at something like Battle Styles, we do have, I guess, two really important alternate arts, being the Tyranitar V and the Urshifu VMAX, and those are actually still hovering around $100. So those are doing very well. But those cards are very hard to pull. Those are only 2 cards out of a huge amount of cards in Battle Styles. As opposed to this set right here, we have so many different alternate arts. I can't imagine all of the alternate arts just staying above $100 for too long. So I do think that these cards are going to go under $100 eventually, but I think initially right out the gate, you will see the bird trios going for over $100 in their raw form. Now we're going to take a look at Galarian Moltres V, and this is very interesting here. We got a PSA 10 actually that sold. This is some very good data here. $610 on an auction for a PSA 10 Galarian Moltres V alternate art. This card is absolutely wicked. Love this card. Everyone loves this card. Probably one of the biggest chase cards in the set. Definitely the most desirable of the 3 legendary birds. PSA 10, $610. I wonder how much the English counterpart will be. English PSA 10 of this card, $1,000? Is it possible? Maybe the first copy. I think maybe the first copy you can see this card hitting $1,000. I would not be surprised. I would see it going closer maybe to 800, 900. Like I said, that gap between Japanese cards and English cards are definitely starting to close a little bit more. But hey, that's a pretty strong price. A PSA 10 going for almost $1,000. I think it's going to happen, and I think that's a very strong price for a modern card. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more of these. We see a CGC 9.5. They're trying to list it for $300. There was a best offer accepted. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling here. Check this out though. We got a Galarian Moltres V raw card going for over $200. And this is the English one. So somebody pulled this out of either they got their hands on a booster box early, or they got this in the pre-release. $200 for a Galarian Moltres V. Pretty strong price for a raw card. I do think this is the most desirable of the legendary birds. So I think it's safe to say that we probably will not see Galarian Articuno or Galarian Zapdos go for over $200. But this is a pretty strong price for Galarian Moltres V. English. Not bad, not bad. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the alternate art for the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. We did see a set of them go for $415, both the Ice Rider and the Shadow Rider. So maybe about $200 a card. That's for the Japanese version. That's a really strong price. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is almost $250 for the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX in Japanese. It's strange because people are paying this much for the Japanese version, but then if you look at something like this, this is the English version, and it was a best offer accepted. This is for the English version. So it looks like people are paying more for the Japanese version of the raw card. Maybe because it's brand new. Of course, Japanese does get their cards first, and people just want that Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX ASAP. So, but it looks like we're seeing the English counterpart go for definitely over $100, which is pretty strong. Yeah, I mean, I think you will see a lot of these alternate arts go for over $100 initially, but I like I said, there's just so many of them. I can't imagine them all remaining above over $100. So yeah, right out of the gate, this card's going to be over $100, and we have yet to see how much this would be in a PSA 10. But now we got Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and actually this is a nice little data point here. We got a PSA 10 of the Japanese version of this card going for $561. PSA 10. This is Japanese version. So yeah, PSA 10 in an English version. I can see it fetching somewhere $700, maybe more than that. So definitely a desirable card. Definitely a really cool card. I think the Shadow Rider is a little bit cooler than the Ice Rider. Yeah, just look at that art. That art's fantastic. So $561 for PSA 10 for the Japanese version. Expect the English version to go for a little bit more than that. Taking a look at the raw version of Shadow Rider Calyrex, it does look like it is going for more than the Ice Rider Calyrex. $268 for this one. A lot of best offers accepted, but it looks like it's probably going to be over $200 for the Shadow Rider Calyrex. And I'm trying to find a version of this card in English on eBay, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, here's one right here actually. This is the one copy right here. It says best offer accepted. It was listed at $252. Here's another best offer accepted, listed at $250. Let's go ahead and see if we can find this on 130 point. So yeah, if you take a look at this, we got the English version of the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX alternate art. It was listed for $252, but someone did accept the best offer of $185. So yeah, that's pretty strong. That's a pretty strong price for a modern card. That's more than the cost of the booster box. So if you pull this card, you get the booster box pretty much for free. All the rest of the cards in the booster box for free, which is pretty nice. So pray and hope that you get this card. This is a very nice price for a raw version of this card. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the most desirable full art trainer in the set, Caitlyn. We have Caitlyn, the Japanese version, going for $150. That's pretty ridiculous. $150 for this full art supporter. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Then it went for $140. A lot of listings where it goes for $140 and $120, over $100. So yeah, once again, this card in English probably will be over $100 right out the gate. Let's see if we can find a version of this card actually. Chilling Rain. Is anyone selling this card right now? Okay, so it looks like it did sell. Someone did list it and it went for $92. And this is what I'm talking about. For some reason, the Japanese cards, the Japanese versions of these cards now are going for around the same price as their English counterparts. At least for the raw cards, sometimes, at least for the all-time maximum high. And like I said, I think that's because people right out the gate, right when the set drops in Japan, they want these cards immediately, and they'll pay whatever it takes to get these cards in their hands. And yeah, they come out before the English counterparts. So somebody paid, what was it, $150, $140 for the Japanese version of this card, but people are only paying $100 for the English version of this card. So it is a little confusing. I guess this is going to be closer to like a maybe an $80 card. I think when it's all said and done, it's going to come closer down to like $40, $50. So yeah, don't buy into the waifu hype just yet. There's a lot of great full art supporters in this set, and Caitlyn is a good full art supporter. I don't think it's one of the best full art supporters that we've had in the Sword and Shield era, but it is a good one. Definitely one that's on my radar and one that I would like to pull myself. All right, now let's take a look at the Snorlax. So let's take a look at this. We got the very first CGC 9.5 shiny Snorlax from Masters Fighter, selling for $290 for the Japanese card. I'm assuming if this was a PSA 10 and it was in English, could maybe go close to $500, which is pretty solid. This is a pretty cool card. Everyone loves Snorlax. It's a shiny Snorlax, gold Snorlax. Here's another 9.5 though that sold for $118. Did it sell after the other one? Yes. Well, yeah, of course. This one says the very first, and this one sold over a month later. So I can see why that. This one definitely sold for less. The raw card though was fetching a pretty high price. I mean, we're seeing what, $222 for one of these. That's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, this is pretty expensive for a gold card. I mean, $70. So yeah, we can expect this card in English. Let's see if there's an English counterpart selling already on eBay. Wow, someone listed this for $200. Someone did a best offer. I'm assuming closer to $100. Someone paid $160 though for this. $160 for a gold Snorlax. I mean, it might be one of the best gold cards that we've had so far. I mean, because it's a first gen Pokemon and Snorlax. So I can see the price tag 160 being somewhat justified early on at least, but I mean, again, I don't think this is going to hold its price for too long. But yeah, Snorlax is doing pretty well. Now let's take a look at the Zeraora V. This is the card that I want the most out of the set. This card is just absolutely beautiful. It's astounding. I did want the Sandaconda V, but that is not going to be in Chilling Rain, unfortunately. So maybe we'll see it as a promo in maybe there's like a Sandaconda collection box or something. But since I can't get the Sandaconda, this is the next card that I want. This card is pretty nice. And it's not as expensive as like some of the legendary birds or you know, some of the bigger chase cards, but it's fetching a decent amount of money here. We are seeing prices close to $70, $80. Yeah, really not doing too bad for itself. Let's see if we can find an English version of this card that has sold yet. Oh, there's an English version. Okay, so $110 that sold yesterday. $110 for Zeraora V. Not bad, not bad. This is just a really cool card. I love the artwork on this card. Definitely a card I'm gonna try to pick up. Not for $110, but definitely a card I'm gonna try to pick up eventually. Yeah, the centering on this is pretty decent. It's a pretty decent, you know, condition of the card. $110, not bad, not bad. So expect to pay that right out the gate, maybe a little bit less. I think this is gonna come closer down to like $60 eventually. I can see this going for around the same price as like Peony V from Battle Styles, where it's like $50, $40, $50. I think this one it's gonna sit around eventually. And now let's take a look at the most expensive card from Chilling Reign, the chase card itself, the Blaziken VMAX. We've seen a lot of English versions of these cards already pop up on eBay, and people are asking a pretty penny for this. We see it listed for $350, $350. There is a best offer accepted, so let's try to investigate, see how much that card actually sold for, because I doubt someone is paying $350 for it, but who knows? No, they did not pay $350 for it. It was listed for $350, but someone paid $200, which is still pretty good. I think that's sitting around the same price as the all-time high for the Galarian V, or the Galarian Moltres V. They're pretty comparable in prices. Ooh, here's one though that went for $250. So I think that beats the all-time high for the Galarian Moltres V. So yeah, I think that does pretty much solidify that this card is the main chase card from Chilling Reign. I mean, the artwork is absolutely fantastic. It's an alternate art card. It's a VMAX. I think VMAXs are harder to pull than just normal V cards, regardless of whether they're alternate art or not. So I think this card is probably going to have a lower pull rate, and it's an iconic Pokemon. It's Blaziken, you know, it's one of the starters, and there's another starter in the artwork in the form of Inteleon. So it's pretty cool card. Here's a 9.5 Blaziken VMAX from BGS. It went for $233, but this seems pretty low. $233 when, I mean, this card was selling for the same price in a raw version. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are hoping that they're going to get a 10 on these, but $233 for a 9.5 from BGS. No subgrades though. I feel like that's still pretty good in relation to the raw card. Here's another 9.5 for $212. Japanese version, of course. And here's a CGC 9.5 for $197. So this is very strange. We're seeing this card go for pretty much the same price in the raw form. I think people are really just banking on trying to get a 10, or I don't know what they were thinking here grading it with CGC, because what, did they want a pristine 10 or something? I don't know, because this is a pretty weak price for a Blaziken VMAX 9.5. If you don't think that that card is a 10, I would have just wait and send it to PSA or something. Or we see a BGS 9.5 for $233. I think PSA 10. I think this card could hit $1,000. I mean, we saw the Galarian Moltres V hit, what was it, $600 in a PSA 10 in its Japanese form. I would not be surprised to see Blaziken VMAX hit $1,000 in the first PSA 10 that comes to market on eBay. PSA 10 Blaziken VMAX, $1,000 would not surprise me one bit. Alright, so there you have it. That's my price preview / price prediction for Chilling Reign. Let me know what you think, if I'm overestimating or underestimating. Let me know what you think the value is going to be for the most expensive PSA 10 card in the set. Will Blaziken VMAX go for over $1,000? Will Galarian Moltres V go for over $1,000? I personally think they're going to, but who knows? Only time will tell. And yeah, let me know what you think. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.